Objectives of today's lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to talk about Christmas traditions, get introduced to the novel through its book cover, discuss the title, picture, and the blurb, know about the author and some other novels that he wrote, and know about the main character of the novel, which is Scrooge. Let me first introduce to you these two pictures. Christmas tree with lots of gifts around it, and Santa. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Well, definitely Christmas time or Christmas Eve, which is a religious holiday that celebrates the birth of Christ. Okay, so when we talk about Christmas, what do you think people usually do? Well, it's a time in which people show kindness to each other and give charity to poor people. They also have Christmas dinner and spend more time with their families as they hang Christmas decorations. And as I said before, it's a religious holiday, so they go to pray in church and sing Christmas carols. So can you guess now the meaning of Christmas carols? That's right. They are religious songs sung at the church. Now let's look at the title of our novel for this term. It's called Christmas Carols. So the events of the novel are related to Christmas and its spirit. And at the book cover we can find the name of our author, Charles Dickens. Also a picture of an old man who we will come to talk about later. Now back to our author, Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens was born in England in 1812. He is one of the greatest novelists of the 19th century. When Charles was only 12 years old, he had to leave school and work in a factory as his father was sent to prison for unpaid debts. Before Charles started writing novels, he worked as a journalist that reported on the government. His hardship as a child and his experience as a journalist helped him to reflect in his novels the problems of his society. He criticized how it mistreated its poorest members, especially children, and for that reason, Charles Dickens was also regarded as a social reformer. He died in 1870 after suffering a stroke, leaving behind 15 novels other than the short stories and articles that are all still famous nowadays. Let me give you an example of some of the novels that were written by Charles Dickens. We have Oliver Twist, David Copperfield, and Great Expectations. We can find at the back of the book a blurb which gives us a short summary about the novel. And what attracts our attention in the blurb and gives us a hint about Scrooge's character is the sentence that he usually says at Christmas. He always says Christmas is humbug. The word humbug means silly and nonsense. This shows that Scrooge is an irreligious person who doesn't believe in the Christmas spirit. The only thing that matters to Scrooge is business and making money, which also shows another main trait in his character, that he's a materialistic person. But on Christmas Eve, 3 spirits come to visit him. They take him traveling on the wings of the night to see the shadows of Christmas past, present, and future. And Scrooge learns a lesson that he will never forget. Now let's get back to the picture of the old man that's shown on the book cover. Who's this old man? That's our main character of the novel, Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge is being described as a cross, miserable, mean old man. When his nephew visits him on Christmas Eve to wish him a Merry Christmas, Scrooge is not at all pleased and keeps on saying Christmas is humbug, and anyone who says Merry Christmas should have his tongue cut out. Well, in this paragraph, we have known a lot about Ebenezer Scrooge, and as we said, he's a cross, miserable, mean old man who doesn't care about family ties, and he is an irreligious person. In the second paragraph, we will have more traits to learn about Scrooge. His clerk, Bob Cratchit, gets only 15 shillings a week and has to work in a cold little office with a fire too small to even warm his toes. So if we want to add to his traits, it would be definitely a cruel miser and a bad employer. Now with the characters of the novel. We have Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge, as our main character, his nephew Fred, his clerk Bob Cratchit, and Scrooge's friend and former partner Jacob Marley. As a wrap-up, these are Scrooge's personal traits that we have already known. We came to learn that he's an irreligious person, he doesn't believe in Christmas, materialistic, he only cares about business and making money, cross and miserable, as he was described as a mean old man, mean and cruel, as he treated his nephew and said that anyone who says Merry Christmas should have his tongue cut out, miser, he only paid Bob Cratchit 15 shillings a week, bad employer, he lets Bob work in a small cold little office with a fire too small to even warm his toes, and doesn't care about family ties, as he wasn't pleased when his nephew came and wished him a Merry Christmas.